Here is Gemini's cartoon take on SGT report and a debate between Truthbot and Robobeast.
White House dialing back President Trump's own words today. The president calling several Democrats in Congress, most of them veterans, traitors in a post, and then in another post saying this is punishable by death after they put out a video telling service members they can refuse, quote, illegal orders. The White House was asked, in this environment, what is the president suggesting? Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, President Trump criticized by members of both parties after calling 6 Democratic members of Congress, quote, traitors, and accusing them of seditious behavior punishable by death.
Representative.
It came in response to video released by the lawmakers, all of whom served in the military or in U.S. intelligence.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
In the video, the lawmakers reminding members of the military they should not obey illegal orders.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
The lawmakers did not specify which orders they were talking about, but the president enraged, posting a flurry of messages on social media saying they should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand, adding, an example must be set. The president then writing, seditious behavior punishable by death. And he reposted a message from another account that said, hang them. George Washington would. Democrats accusing the president of inciting violence.
This puts all of our lives in jeopardy, right? What are we all doing right now? Democrats in the Congress are on the phone with their chiefs of staff, beefing up our security for this weekend and next week, because the president has a lot of unhinged supporters out there.
Republicans clearly uncomfortable.
The words that the president chose are not the ones that I would use, okay? Obviously, I don't think that these are crimes punishable by death or any of that, okay?
Republican Senator Rand Paul was blunt.
That kind of rhetoric isn't good and stirs up people among us who may not be stable, who may think, well, traitors, what do we do with traitors? It's a death penalty. Maybe I'll just take matters into my own hands, which is not something we should be encouraging.
At the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked to explain.
Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to.
Leavitt saying the 6 Democrats are the ones inciting violence.
They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command.
I spoke with Congressman Jason Crow, a former Army Ranger who was in that video.
What would your message to the president be?
I don't do fear and intimidation well, and I'm not going to stop.
In that video, Democrats cited what they called threats to the Constitution, insisting that the Trump administration is pitting our military against American citizens, but they did not provide any specific examples. Congressman Crow telling me they felt the need to start a conversation after the president made what he called disturbing statements. David.
Rachel Scott live up on the Hill tonight. Rachel, thank you.
This is from DeepSeek. And DeepSeek tells us that on the campaign trail for the 2024 election, Trump has repeatedly promised that if re-elected, he will issue a full pardon to every service member discharged for vaccine refusal. He has pledged to reinstate them with back pay. This is despite the fact that he has often used the phrase safe and effective or similar phrase. For example, in a 2023 interview, he said, it's one of the greatest achievements. The vaccine saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. Okay. So that certainly raises a question about the contradiction in this.
Hey friends, welcome back. Thanks so much for being here. If you watched my last video, 30 Pieces of Silver, well, you won't be disappointed with this one.
Gemini says the SGT report on BitChute is typically categorized by media bias and fact-checking organizations as a source that lacks factual reporting and promotes conspiracy theories. Here is a general breakdown of its perceived veracity: factual accuracy, content focus, media bias. It is generally placed on the extreme right or hyper-partisan right of the political spectrum. Not considered a credible source by media analysts and fact-checkers. I asked Gemini to put those comments into a debate between Truthbot and Robobeast, and here it is as a satire. This is pretty much the same line of discussion with Copilot as I did with Gemini. This is pretty much the same line of discussion with Copilot, which I took with Gemini. The SGT report is widely criticized for spreading conspiracy theories and misinformation. This is what Copilot says on the same subject as Gemini. The SGT report on BitChute is widely criticized for spreading conspiracy theories and misinformation. Truthbot versus Robobeast, the SGT report debate. Franklin, since you thrive on satire and world building, I could escalate this into a mock tribunal of AI judges ruling on SGT report's credibility, complete with ceremonial absurdity. Would you like me to spin this debate into that next stage?
Thank me for being here. Hello to all the lying liars and the fake news. I invited you here to watch me yell at another world leader. My guest today is a man they call Canadaddy, Prime Minister Mark Carney. He's doing the chicken dance. Can you believe it? In fact, I'd like to see that.
What?
Do the chicken dance and I'll take 2% off the tariff on steel.
2% is 2%. 2% is 2%.
Various COVID drugs. Many people think they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree with the CDC being ripped apart over this question. I want the answer, and I want it now.
But let me start with something you haven't heard about today. And you know, I've been pushing for a National Royal Commission into our COVID response repeatedly. It's a no-brainer, right? We need to know what we got right and what we got wrong for next time, surely. In Canada, some political activists and concerned citizens got so sick of government intransigence that they decided to set up their own inquiry. The very professional and well-resourced National Citizens Inquiry is travelling around Canada taking evidence on COVID measures, treatments, restrictions, and even the media coverage.
Here's another little fact. Because the congressmen that vote on the budget got into office by being paid for their campaigns by rich people who don't like taxes. So the political system says spend, but don't tax us. So we run a chronic deficit in the United States. That spending goes out either as transfer payments or goods and services, and that's more than our national income, which is about $30 trillion, and our spending is about $31 trillion. And that's our trade deficit. And for that, Donald Trump blames the world. Okay, I fail him for this if he were my student.
One thing I can promise you this, I will always tell you the truth.
The Washington Post and other fact checkers have found that Donald Trump tells more lies and falsehoods than any president in either party in history. The count is over 20,000.